Um, this is a video that has been long coming. I've actually had it prepared to go for the last 2 to 3 months, but I just haven't really had time to do it. So like right now I'm not home. I am using my cousin's room to be able to get this information out because I know that it is needed, and I have planned on doing it. I just haven't had a chance to do it. So this is probably going to be a quick video because I have like 6 more I need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the information that I can give pertaining to this topic, and I'm going to give the reasoning behind why I'm going to say certain things, and hopefully get a chance to stop this video and then do another video on another topic. Before my husband goes live with his video, so I said, okay, well, I got a couple of hours in between before I actually have to get his things together and then get everything packed up so we can go home. So I wanted to come on here and say peace and blessings to you guys. I miss you all. So if you see me looking off the camera screen, that means I'm looking at another camera. And if you see me looking off the camera screen over here, that means I'm looking at another camera. It's because I'm I'm going live from 2 different platforms right now. So all right, let's get straight to it. The title of the video is Being a Midwife. Okay, first definition I'm going to give you is the world's perspective. Of course, what you will look up and find if you were to go on Google or Bing or what other search engine that there are out there. And they're going to tell you that a midwife is a woman who is medically trained to assist in the birth of another woman's child. And typically that is accurate when you're dealing with the world standard. But what I am dealing with is a moral, biblical standpoint, or natural standpoint. Being a midwife is not something that you just go to school to do. That's not something that you can go learn from someone else. I like to share with a lot of the moms that have assisted with my home births. I like to share with them that a midwife, you're technically not a midwife until you actually go through labor yourself. Any woman can become a midwife. Any woman can be a midwife because you have a womb. So when I'm talking about being a midwife, I'm speaking from a standpoint of a mother or a woman, which is a mother, who has experienced the intensity, the trial, the pangs of delivering a child. Only these type of women are classified to become a midwife. I hope that doesn't bring any type of offense or a negative connotation to anybody. There's no negative undertones that I am putting out with that statement. I am just bringing forth the reality of being able to harness what it is to be a midwife. So scripturally, I look behind it. Midwife from the biblical and Hebrew word actually lines up with what I already had like in my mind, in my spirit, what I was feeling, what I needed to speak or share as far as being a midwife. And the definition of that in the Hebrew is a woman that travails. Okay, a woman that travaileth is considered a midwife. A woman who brings forth children, a woman who labors or bears a child. And that is the Hebrew definition of midwife. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about on this video. I've jotted down maybe 7 to 8 different notes that I'm going to go from. And hopefully this is beneficial to you guys. Hopefully this is able to help you if there are any sisters out here, whether you be in the Hebraic faith or wherever you are in the world. If this video comes across you, hopefully that this is beneficial to you as well, for you to be able to glean from as you are on your journey to becoming a midwife. Mind you, I'm going to say it again, no woman who has not given birth or who plans on giving birth would be considered a midwife. Okay. I believe in exactly what the definition of midwife is in the Hebrew is a woman who actually has travaileth. Is considered to be a midwife. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you why when I get to some of these notes or tips, I guess, what I wrote down. So, like I said, a true midwife is a mother who has vaginally delivered. Okay. I don't want to say that with a sense of making any woman who has given birth through a cesarean. I'm not trying to take away from the birth of your children. You actually carrying your children all 9 months or 10 months, what have you. I'm not taking away from you actually experiencing pregnancy. What I'm trying to bring to light is there are certain things that the body experiences. There are certain things that you learn from your body once your child has actually come through the canal that you will not learn and you will not understand if you have given a cesarean. And I don't want you guys to be offended by me saying that. Okay. You delivering your baby through a C-section does not make you less of a mother. But what it does is it takes away from what you need to know and understand and or experience to be able to be in the room with another mother who is going to deliver vaginally. There are certain things that happen when the baby comes through the vaginal canal that does not happen to your body when the baby is removed from your womb surgically. Okay, so that's what I mean by a true midwife is a mother who has delivered the baby vaginally. Okay. When you deliver your baby vaginally, you're able to know your body and you're able to know the ability of your body and what it's capable of through the process of the child coming through the birth canal. Okay. So this is very important when you are looking into becoming a midwife, assisting another mother on her journey to becoming a midwife. So once you deliver your baby, guess what? Boom, you're considered a midwife now because you learn so much from your own body that when you're actually going to be in the room assisting another mother, you can kind of discern, not kind of, you can and will be able to discern where she is in the stages of labor. Okay. Being a midwife is also about understanding the mind during the whole labor process, your spirit and that mother's spirit through the process, and your soul. Okay. There are things that I explain to first-time moms that they don't understand or it doesn't click until after they actually go through pregnancy. And if any of the sisters actually watch this video, those who I've talked to before they've actually had their baby, you can kind of get in and you can leave your comment and you can let them know exactly what I mean by that, because there are things that I didn't understand and I wouldn't understand until after I actually went through labor. Okay, so when you are going to be a part of someone's labor, or even a part of your own labor, something that's very important is to make sure that your mind is clear. Your mind is clear and free. You want to have the right spirit, not only when you are a part of someone else's labor and delivery, but you want to have the right spirit when you are getting ready, prepared to deliver your own child. Because there are so many things that you will go through. There's so many different emotions that will flood because of the process of the baby getting ready to come down and the baby getting ready to come through the canal. You want to make sure you have the right spirit even before you enter into labor so that you're able to focus on what it is that your body is saying. Your body will be speaking to you. So you want to make sure that your spirit is clear, is free, and that you are able to focus in on what it is that your body is telling you. Okay. Because your body's going to communicate to you what it needs, and it's going to communicate to you what the baby needs. Okay. And so you want to make sure you have the right spirit so that you're able to discern what you need to do physically so that the baby and you can get through that process successfully. Okay. Being a midwife is also about compassion. You first have to have compassion for yourself before you can actually put forth that compassion for another mother. Okay. Being a midwife is a very beautiful, beautiful job. It's a very beautiful, beautiful responsibility. It's a humbling process as well. I take it very seriously. I don't think it's something that you want to just dive into or think that, oh, well, I want to be a midwife. It's something that you really have to desire to be. Okay. And that takes um, a lot of focusing in on your spirit, especially your spirit, and focusing in on having compassion for the mother, having compassion for that family, having compassion for that baby, having compassion for yourself, because it's a process, it's a task that is very much appreciated, but it's a task that's needed because a lot of moms need to know that they have support. And having that compassion makes you a very dependable person. Compassion is not something that you can practice. Um, it's not something you can go to school and learn. It's something that I believe is solely given to you by the Creator Himself. And that's you have to have a personal relationship with Him to be able to harness that same type of compassion, the same compassion of Christ. Displayed is the same compassion that you will need to display when you are in that room with that mother, when you are part of that mother's process. You need to exemplify the compassion of Christ. And the compassion of Christ has the right spirit, He has the right mindset, He has the right intensity. Okay. The compassion of Christ does not push Himself on you. He does not make you, urge you, force you to do anything. And that is the type of compassion that you need as a midwife. Okay. Um, Midwives are like I'm saying, is like Christ to the family. I have that down as a note. And that's what I mean by embodying that compassion of the Messiah. Okay. I believe that being a midwife is a calling. I believe that that is I guess a calling, an anointing. Like I said, it's a desire. It is a genuine desire to be a part of new life entering into the world, a genuine desire of being a part of the health and the healing of both mother and baby, being that support to that family, to that household. The midwife's job is not only to make sure that baby gets here safely, but it's to make sure that the family has what they need. It's to make sure that the health of both mother and baby is intact. And it's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing process. All of the births that I've been able to be a part of, hallelujah. I bless the Father. I thank you, sisters, who've allowed me to be a part of your births. It's definitely a humbling process, but I'm a part of that baby's life. I'm a part of that mom's life, that the father's life. I have a passion to know and make sure that everything's okay. You know, if there's a spiritual connection that happens with being a midwife, and you have to be prepared for that, because it's almost like another soul tie has been developed when you have entered into being a part of bringing into the world another life. Okay. And so if you're not prepared to constantly be in the lives of those that you're helping administer aid to during labor and delivery, then you really want to think about is midwifery, according to the biblical standpoint, something that you want to take up, something that you want to actually be a part of. Okay. So, being a midwife, I hope that those are all the little notes that I have. If you guys have any other questions as far as being a midwife, I just want to kind of give you an understanding on that as far as it being different from what the world says is considered a midwife. Being medically trained to deliver a woman's baby, another sister's baby, that's just not the definition that I would use. So this is the definition that I have naturally compared to medically. And I don't know. I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this video and start the next video. Let me see. Let me make sure, because I got notes written all over this book. Yep. So if you have not delivered vaginally, I would suggest that you would just kind of hang back and learn from the mothers, the women who have delivered vaginally, so that you're still a part of the learning process, but to actually be able to do the birth successfully. Allow yourself to go through the vaginal delivery, because when you go through it vaginally, you understand where the mother is. You'll know if she is in stage 1. You'll know if she's in stage 2. And you'll know if she's in stage 3. You'll know when transitioning is coming. You'll be able to feel what she feels. You'll be able to communicate not only with her, but you'll be able to communicate with her husband. You'll be able to communicate with her children. There is a special connection that happens between both mother and another mother who's delivered vaginally, where she can communicate the pains. She can communicate the intensity. She can communicate what she verbally can't communicate with everyone else. So this is why I say being a midwife is more about being spiritually in tune with your body, being spiritually in tune with that mother, than having a physical ability to, use the forceps and all that other stuff that they say that you need to know medically. If you can physically, spiritually connect with that mother, you're going to be more of a benefit to her versus instruments, which I'm getting tongue tied, which is what the hospitals use. They are more experienced and they're more confident in their instruments than they are spiritually being able to connect with the mother. And so this is what I'm trying to emphasize in this video is you want to be able to spiritually connect with the mother, with her body and with her mind, with her spirit. Okay. She's really going to be relying on you, for her strength, for her support, for her confidence. Also, her husband will be relying on the wisdom of the mother, and you can also help the husband, whatever the mother is communicating through her body, through you, communicating spiritually through you, you can also communicate that to her husband. That way her husband is made aware of what's going on. I see Sister Jasmine's on there. I know when I was in the room with my sister, hopefully I'm pretty sure she does it. Do you mind me sharing? Let me ask first. Do you mind me sharing, Sister Jazz? But being in the room with the mother and her husband, whatever is being expressed through her, through her moans, through her groanings, through the positioning of her body, I'm able to discern and see. I can express that what's going on to her husband, and her husband is able to see, oh, okay, so boom, okay, so can I do this? Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to go ahead and just move off of your own movement. Because remember, when you just move into something, you can throw things off. And I can compare that into, just worshiping with the Father, praising with the Father. When you move from a carnal standpoint, you're moving out of what you think you should do instead of moving off of how the Spirit is leading you. It can throw off the atmosphere. It can throw off the Spirit of the Father moving. It's the same thing with helping a mother in childbirthing. You want to make sure that you are listening to the mother's body. Okay, you're listening to the mother. That does not mean that you are taking over, or the woman is, I don't know. You don't want to take over. There are midwives out here who do try to take over the birth, but what you want to do is you want to go into this birth knowing that this birth is not about me. Okay, it's not about me. It's actually about the mama. It's actually about the baby that is telling me how I can assist her in this labor. That is the mentality that you want to have. As I was in the room with my Sister Jazz and her husband, I thank the Father, they considered me somebody to be in the room with them. But whatever Sister Jasmine was able to communicate with me, and she wasn't able to communicate very much, but what she communicated through me verbally, I was able to pick up spiritually before she could say anything. And whatever I was able to sense and discern from her, I would take that to her husband. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is their child. This is my brother's baby, his baby that's about to come out. So I'm communicating what needs to be said to him by her. I'm communicating that to him so that he is a part of the birth. That's one thing that's very important about being a midwife. You want to make sure that if the Father is there, you want to make the Father a part of that birth. Okay. I will never, and I have never placed my hands in the water to grab someone's baby if they didn't want me to. Okay. These are things that we discuss. These are things that we talk about. Okay. As exciting as it is, I would never reach down and grab the baby first outside of whatever has been planned by both Father and the mother. And so I've always guided, and that's what a midwife wants to do. You want to be able to guide. Okay, bro, sis is in, she's getting close to pushing. Okay, bro, she's transitioning now. Let's get these things together. Okay, this is what you want to do, bro. Get in this position. Okay, baby's coming down like this. Okay, see this, baby's crowning. So this is what you want to do. This is how you want to be able to move in the room. You want to make the Father and the mother both a part of the process, because at the end of the day, the mom's delivering the baby. You're just helping her and showing her how to successfully get baby here. So in the event that something happens next birth, she's able to do it herself. She can deliver her own baby too, but you're there to take off the stress and to be an aid for her in the event that she can't move in a manner that she desired to move in, or in a manner that she planned. Sometimes our labors don't go the way that we want them to go. And so having the midwife there, having a sister there, having our husbands there as that strength is very important. So you want to make sure that also important thing about being a midwife is that you are there to learn from mother, and you are like the liaison for Father, because you want daddy a part of the process. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I brought that in there. I don't know if I even said anything like that before, but I wanted to make sure that I brought that up in there, because the midwife's role and job here in this day and age for our community is to make sure that the fathers are a part of that birthing process, and to make sure that the fathers understand how to be helpful, how to maneuver, how to be able to communicate with their wife. I would love to actually be able to do a video where I have my husband by my side so he can kind of explain what he normally does with our our births when I am in labor, because he is the best labor. I can't call him a midwife. He's the best labor. I don't know. Give me a word, Jazz. I don't want to say coach because that sounds strange. It's my labor buddy. My labor, my flesh, my one flesh. I don't know. Give me a word, Sister Jasmine. Y'all come up with the words. It goes over my head. I don't be knowing what to say sometimes. All right. Any tips on caring for the older children when birth process is happening? Yeah, supporter, labor supporter. I don't know. He's like a labor warrior, labor warrior supporter. He's the best. Okay. So, I'm gonna ask him, can he do a video with me so he can kind of give the brothers insights on what he does, and we can kind of go from there. I think that'd be a really good video. And now the brothers can watch with their wives. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. So this is what we're gonna do next, y'all. Okay. Hallelujah. So question was, any tips on caring for older children when the birth process is happening? Yes, definitely. So don't stress. The Most High is going to make a way. That's the tip. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. Most of the time, the children are spiritually in tune, especially if you're keeping them a part of your pregnancy. If you guys sit down and talk about it, okay? Talk about how you want the pregnancy, how you want the labor to go with your children. Like I said, I had 5 children before I birthed Mikael, and throughout the whole pregnancy, they had lots of questions. I didn't sugarcoat anything. We talked about what we were going to do, and I would share with them how much of a help they would be for me if they did this, or if they did this. Okay, when this happens, mommy needs you to do this. So if you start talking about what you're going to do with the older children, then when labor comes, they'll already know what to do. Okay, so that's the best tip I can give you, is to make sure that they already know what's expected of them before you go into labor, before you assist with the labor. I know every single pregnancy, I've never had any trouble with any of my children. They could sense when mommy was getting ready to have baby, and they would just gather themselves and they will go into another room, or they will ask whoever's helping, is there anything you want me to do? So if you guys are making them a part of the process during pregnancy and talking about how labor is going to go, it will be a very good process with getting them situated away from or out of whatever rooms they may be occupying that you may need. So that's the best tip, to talk to them about it. Let them be a part of the process of helping other children, or helping, get things set up for when baby is here. If you guys already talk about what you want them to do prior to labor, then it shouldn't be a big deal having them situated when labor gets started. So I hope I answered that question. And yes, I'm going to ask Pastor if he'd do that video with me. So y'all be prepared. Y'all know y'all Pastor. So hallelujah. I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to start the next one. Bless y'all. Shalom. Peace and blessings. Okay.